Hi, welcome to Integrative Preparedness. I'm Steve Smith. I thought I'd make this first non-introductory video answering what I think is the best question a new prepper or a person interested in preparing can ask. First, I probably ought to say thank you to all the people who have left reviews for my books on Amazon. That brings me to something else. Hopefully, I'll remember that in a minute. Who have left good reviews on Amazon and such kind remarks. I really appreciate it. It always it's gratifying to know that the things that I try to put across in my books are being received and understood by the readers, and your all's reviews have just been more gratifying than you could imagine. The people who have emailed me and also talked with me about some things and asked questions, thank you. I'm going to use those. They're great questions. They're great things to get into further. I'm going to use those as my list of things to make the videos on, because that's really the purpose of these videos, is to answer questions to people that I don't have time to get back to by email. To give the proper, I could give short little answers, but that's not what people want. So I'm looking forward to all of those. And I did remember what I was hoping I would a minute ago, and that was somebody told me, hey, on that first one, you didn't tell people where your books are available and all that. Well, they're on Amazon, and I'll ask my YouTube guru, my son, to put the links down here somewhere. So if you haven't read them and you'd like to, you'll know where to get them. So back to this. I got this question, and I apologize for the lighting. It's snow cover out there today, so it might seem a little glary and lighty, but here again, we're not professional YouTubers, so we'll do the best we can. They wrote me a story about their situation, and they were just now recognizing that being prepared was important. And their question came down to what I think the most important question is, and that is, how do I start? You've already started. That's the first part of my answer. You've started by understanding the need for it. So good job for that. Congratulations. And now you're on your way. What do you do next? Well, there's all sorts of wise sayings thought up by people far more clever than I, such as there's two parts to a job. First, get started, and the second part is keep going until you're done. Or the other one, the old Chinese saying, that's what people say when they want to act very wise and act as if they know a lot of old Chinese sayings, and that is the longest journey begins with a single step. Who knows if that's really Chinese? Could have been somebody else thought it up. But anyway, you've done the first important thing, and that is to realize that it is important. Preparedness is really simple responsibility. Being responsible for yourself. Taking responsibility for yourself and those who depend on you. Taking responsibility for those things that most people take for granted. Being able to feed themselves, to provide for the food and the water and the shelter, for the protection, all of those things. Not relying on the kindness of strangers about whom you know nothing or little. So your first part is good. Now the next part, the second and the next million steps. First off, don't be daunted. It may seem like a huge project, and that's what keeps a lot of people from really getting in. They don't know where to start, and it seems huge. I got an email, I believe it was. I'm trying to remember whether it was a review or an email. I think it was an email, saying that when they read about Stonemont, then the situation in the books, the revival and the reversion, Well, it just, who can do that? Who has a place like that? Well, first off, many people do. And most of them started at ground zero the day that they realized they needed to start preparing, or they wanted to be more self-reliant, for whatever reason. There's many, many different reasons to want that. And they did it one step at a time. Small, 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 small steps. Once you've, shoveled enough small shovelfuls, you got a pretty big pile of dirt. And it's the same with this. If you have learned or read or watched any YouTubes about preparedness, you've probably heard the rule of threes. And that's a good place to start. Now, these are not hard and fast rules. They're a general idea of the basic hierarchy of needs for survival. And it goes, and there's a few more that you can fill in here, but just the basics are 3 minutes. You can live 3 minutes without air. You can live 3 hours in a life-threatening environment without proper shelter or clothing. You can live 3 days without water, or you can live 3 weeks without food. Okay, now those aren't exact. People can live longer than that without food, but you're going to be operating at a very low energy after a while, and you're not going to be making good moves and decisions. But anyway, think about those things. Those are the things that you need to take responsibility for yourself, for providing, in order to get on this path to proper preparedness. Now, a lot of people start off, and I know a lot of people in my own world started off with guns. They got guns all over the place, and they hadn't thought about some other things. We'll get to guns in later videos, but that's not really where you start. You're going to need to be able to drink water and eat food a lot more than you're going to be able to shoot, hopefully. It doesn't mean that protection is not important. It's vitally important. But it's not the first thing that I would suggest someone think about who's just now getting into preparedness. Food and water, very simple to start. Okay, water is really the most important thing. If the water shuts down, what are you going to do? In many places around have boil orders. Depending on something happened with their water supply, what do you do? Well, stockpiling water is easy. I'm not going to go into details about this. There's all sorts of YouTubers out there that cover these things, very to different degrees of quality, but some of them cover it very well. Store water, you can do that 2 liters, totes, 275-gallon totes, 55-gallon drums, all sorts of things. But also have a way to purify your water. Now, we drink all of our water through a Berkey. That's a Berkey filter. And I will ask my YouTube guru to put a link to that down there. I think it's berkeyfilters.com. We've been drinking nothing but Berkey water for years because we don't want to drink the stuff that's in public water. You never know what's in there. So that would be my suggestion for taking care of your water situation. Also want something that's more portable, and I suggest Sawyer filters for that. You can buy those off Amazon. Academy Sports has the best deals usually that I've seen on those, and you can get a little mini filter that I think's good up to 100,000 gallons to carry around in your bag when you get ready to make what we call a JIC bag, a just-in-case bag. There's other words, bug-out bags, get-home bags, emergency bags, whatever. We call it JIC bag, just in case. But that's something you can carry around, and it's a great way. You want to make sure that you have the ability to provide good drinking water for yourself and whoever's depending on you. Okay, so that's number one. It's very easy. The Berkeys are a little expensive. They're several $100s, but I think the Sawyer for emergency needs, it's $25 or something like that. Get one of those. Get one of them right away. Food. I'm not a big proponent of the emergency food. It's expensive. It doesn't taste that good as far as I'm concerned. There's a big business in it, I know that. But you look back to people who were truly self-sufficient, and you don't have to go back that far. Go back 100 years, 150 years. People grew their own food, they raised their own food, and they canned it, they preserved it, they knew how to do that. Well, we don't have to do that as much right now. And if you're just getting ready, I suggest that you start getting your food preps from your grocery store. Simple as that. Every grocery store will have sales. Don't go out and say, okay, I need X amount of beans, or I need this, or I need rice, or I need this. Go buy what's on sale. This is a part of being smart. And it's also a part of the whole process of integrative preparedness, and I'll explain that in a minute, of integrating your preps into your normal life. Okay. When we here now, we, if you can ever have enough, we probably have enough. How much do you need? Well, you need enough stored food to last you until you can produce your own food. Okay, simple as that. How long is that going to be? Well, that gets into some other videos that we're going to be doing about gardening and farming and things like that. But you should have enough to last you. Now, you're not going to go out today as a beginning prepper and buy a year's worth of food. You probably don't want to spend that much money. If you have that much money, you probably don't want to spend it on food in a process that you don't quite understand yet. I say go to your grocery store. When our grocery store has a sale, say on corn, okay, 29 cents for corn. Well, corn usually runs anywhere from 78 cents a can to $1.20, something like that. Well, we go down and we buy some corn. We don't buy 5 cans. We don't buy 10 cans. We'll buy 200 cans, 400 cans. Now, some people might say, well, that sounds crazy. Well, why? It will last. You have seen these commercials for the so-called survival foods. They say they'll last 25 years. Canned foods will last indefinitely. They have found canned food in riverboats that sank over 100 years ago, 150 years ago. And they opened up those cans and the food was still edible and fairly nutritious. And our canning processes are a lot better nowadays. So those things are pretty much, will pretty much last you as long as you need them to. Balance it out. So the first time, if you go down and you say, well, everybody's going to look at me funny if I buy 400 cans of corn. Yeah, they probably will, and the manager probably won't like it. But, buy 10 cans. Buy 10 cans of beans. The next week, go back and see what's on sale and buy some of that. Okay. Then start looking into, so that's taking care of your water and your food to begin with. Spam's great. My cameraman loves Spam. He's making a face right now because he doesn't. But kind of spread it out. Okay. Rice is an excellent thing. It's cheap. Buy some rice. Don't worry right now about, I'm going to put it in Mylar bags and buckets and everything like that. Don't worry about that. Put it in your pantry. It's going to be fine. It'll be fine like that for up to a year, probably more. But these are your first basic steps. And as you start doing that, you'll become more comfortable. And then, the one rule that I suggest for people is do something every day. I don't care whether it's you go to the store and you buy an extra can of Progresso soup. Now, don't buy it when it's on regular price because it always goes on sale. Instead of buying one at regular price, when it goes on sale, buy 2. So I'm getting the cue. I think that we're running out of battery life or something. Anyway, that comes from being a novice at this. But develop the habit of doing something every day. Okay. Now, there's a lot more that goes into this, and you'll find it interesting if you're just now starting off, and you'll find it very rewarding as you start doing it. The more you do, the more you'll understand, and you'll see how everything builds on itself until finally we have an integrated process towards developing your ability to be self-reliant, self-sufficient. And I think that'll do it for today. When you're beginning, don't be just don't feel too stupid. Just step out there and take the small steps and become comfortable. And the next time we'll talk about going the next step. Anyway, thanks for watching. This is kind of fun, actually. I've been surprised. I didn't really want to do this, but I've already had people who have watched the previews say that they liked it, so hope you do too. Thanks for being here, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye.